Hi everybody. Hi. A man and his dog, Sparky. Smart. Sparky's super smart. Man, just have to look at him. He already knows what you're thinking. Tom Hard? Actually, Tom Hard is fastest shredder. Fastest shredder. That's one word. Tom Hard is Canadian, man. Tom Hard actually was born in Stockholm, Sweden. Tom Hard is Tom Ingvar Hard. That's my middle name. That's Swedish enough. That's really Swedish sounding. In fact, Ingvar Kamprad is the founder of IKEA. So I got the same middle name as his first name. He was kind of the richest man in the world at one point. Well, I was just a kid when I was a baby. My parents, my dad being an adventurer sailor, moved to Australia, and then I moved from Australia as still a little kid because I was 5 or 6 and I grew up in Toronto. Then after that, as a kid, I grew up in the rurals, and I grew up in Port Hope, and I was there for a long 28 years. And then I moved to London, Ontario for like a decade. And then finally I realized that Sarnia was my ultimate destination. So I want to show it. I want to show my little journey on a map. I want to show it on that map, the elephant map. How I came from the toe right to the head of the elephant, which is Sarnia. And I'm here to do business. I'm here to shred so fast that hair starts to grow back on my head and hair falls off on your head. Well, I've always had a passion for playing. I think Swedish people like to play like dark music and all that metal. It's kind of in their little vibe thing from what I can see. So maybe I had some of that. I always liked to play. But then when I was a young man, this big explosion of neoclassical shredders, Yngwie Malmsteen really got it all excited. Some people say Al Di Meola and all that, but before, like, these are slick. There's always been slick players, but Yngwie Malmsteen brought to the table a new genre, and everyone followed suit very swiftly. All the guitar magazines I remember were loaded with shred examples like that, and people were talking about speed, and I was so into it. I know it's not just about speed, but that's one thing, and that's something I can't get enough of it. So I just, all of a sudden, when I came to Sarnia, actually, I doubled and tripled my guitar speed. I just go, I'm going to start playing fast. And then I started looking at the Flight of the Bumblebee competition, and I saw, what's his name there? I can't remember his name, okay? 1,300 beats a minute, and I said, holy shit! So I started to break down how fast I'd have to play to do that. So I started playing, instead of just playing chromatic little spurts like that song, I just started playing fast, like using all the regular rock shreds, You know, so that's, I just, you know, the way I improvise. So I just play like, fuck, I want to shred. You know, it's like no one tells me how to shred. Like, it's like that, right? It's all the years of accumulation. Now I skip the middleman. I have the thought in my head, 100 notes here, and then the next thing you know, my hand is just doing it like a nice, satisfying vibration. Oh yeah, that feels good. That feels right. It's like that, man. You know what I mean? Rockers know what I mean, but just triple the speed of it. Just imagine how good that feels. You know what I mean? That's what it's about for me. It's just so fun. I get so pumped about shredding. You don't even know. What inspires me? I get inspired. To be quite honest with you, when I'm partying, I get in a certain mode. I'm not saying getting wrecked. I believe in being healthy, drinking water, but you know, partying, it's the attitude. And then when I'm with my friends and people like that, it's very emotionally upbuilding to be with positive people and fun people. And then, you know, you turn on the tunes, You should have music playing in the background when you're doing your household chores, whatever. It's just it's a vibe, It brings the past and the future together because those songs are, you know what I mean? So I get all pumped up from experiences like that, and then I just want to go on my guitar and shred a bit. And I've always been one just to play guitar like when I'm in this burst of emotion, so I'm always releasing maximum energy at those times. I've been very bad at discipline for that, like, I got to learn how to do this and do it now. I've never been like that. I've just grabbed the guitar when I'm in the mood. And when I was sad in a relationship I was in at one time before, I actually stopped playing guitar. Like, I couldn't even, it was getting harder. And I used to wake up every morning and sing and play, and I'm so happy, and that stopped. You know, looking back, I realized that I cannot allow any toxic energy to interfere with what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is good enough that I like to share it with the whole world. I want to shred fast because I want everybody to join the party. And I believe that the new generation of shredders that will look at this and go, man, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. And then I'll just show a few secrets of how it really is done. And if you can swallow like your pride and go, well, fuck him, because some do that. You can just say, that's not what it's about. Just show you how I do it. And you know what? In your own genius, in your own brain, you go, oh shit, I get it. And then you'll start shredding fast. I like to see a world of super shredders as a new thing for, you know what I mean, the 21st century. Just shredding over dance music, shredding over country. You know what I mean? Like shredding is going to fix the world. I made that commitment already. It's going to be the conduit, the electrical zone, like in a circuit board. When there's a short circuit in life, you got to fix it, right? Well, shredding is the fix. The frequency of super fast shredding is beyond fucking normal. So therefore, the frequencies of the music is bringing in a message into humanity which will wake us up. And then we're going to take charge. We already own the world because the internet makes everybody from Pakistan to India to Canada to the United States to the European Union to Africa, boop-a-chook-a-boo, and the Orient. We're all just together talking to each other, whatever. We should use our collective conscious and our social awareness that we have grown out and just decide that we're going to change the world. We no longer want slavery. Therefore, we no longer want the World Bank system to produce the eternal slavery, because here's what happens. A debt is always going towards infinity. That's the way the money system is banked. We'll never resolve the debt. The world banks will never. It'll just money will always decrease in value, and it'll always be like that. So they'll always be running after the carrot. That's an eternal judgment against humans to live in slavery in our old little 3D world. But we're supposed to ascend, so we got to scrap that. We got to start basing our economy off of the resources. It can be done. It should not affect anybody. It should not cause like a wave of inflation. That's another lie. The whole banking system is built up on a cake of lies to keep us as enslaved so that just a few elite people can have all the wealth. It's always been that way. But you know what? Now that we're all together as a team on the internet, my shredding will be the signal, the needle to pop that bubble, and we will just smoothly and in peace, all of a sudden, we'll change the whole world, and we'll start using our resource, and we'll start building everywhere equally. Nobody will have to worry about food or anything anymore. That's just bullshit. Bullshit why everybody's in debt. Forget that whole fucking concept. It's old school, it's archaic, it's Roman Empire, it's all that shit. It's got nothing to do with where we are at intellectually right now. It's because when you're in prison, like I was, I have learned inside and out what it is like to be imprisoned by an infrastructure of belief. And I have learned that that same infrastructure, the Jehovah's Witness religion, which is toxic, which is the same as really every religion, because it's like a branch from the tree, the mother roots, same thing. It's all the same. The money systems, they're all manipulating our minds. I understand loaded language, cult control, and I see it everywhere. I see it in the advertisements. I see Jehovah's Witness knocking at my door when I see any commercial on TV. I see how people are walking around living their life like they think they have to do. It's Friday night, so now we're going to spend this amount of our money getting drunk and feeling like shit the next day, because that's what we do. Oh, we're going to buy a car and put ourselves in debt now because we're a young couple. That stress sits on your shoulders like that. There's got to be a better way to live. We already got the technology, so we can build stuff. Everyone can have stuff. I know for a fact, mathematically, that we can scrap our present dynamic right now. We can just fucking build a super future for ourselves, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. And you know what? The real experts concur with me. So does former Finance Minister of Canada, Paul Hellyer. Right? I think, you know what? This video should be passed around to everybody. Ex-Canadian Minister of Defense speaks about UFOs, global warming,
TD
and our economy.
Highest again in customer satisfaction
we don't want this
among the
TD
Big Five
shit,
banks,
right?
JD Power and Associates.
I deny them. I deny them their advertisement. They're not advertising on MySpace. See what I'm talking about? Money? See what I'm saying? It's like Jehovah's Witness knocking at your door. See what I'm saying? Oh, wrong one. It is the Honorable Paul Hellyer.
All right, we're ready for our next talk, and we are very honored to have the ex-Minister of Defense for Canada, a peace activist.
Defense, not finance. See?
Help me welcome the Honorable Paul
I
Hellyer.
gotta get my shit together on that stuff. I said finance.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Reminds me of the small boy who fell head first into a barrel of molasses. And when they pulled him out, he licked some of the molasses from his face and said, "Lord, make my tongue adequate to this occasion." Now that's
The Honorable Paul Hellyer, former Minister of Defense for Canada, speaks out and says things, and he's telling the truth. This senior man is saying the truth. He's saying the whole banking system, as we know, is a farce, and the bankers are like in their own little religion there. But he's saying that we can change the debt, we can cancel the debt and begin building the world, and we can do it in 10 years. And I subscribe to it, and I no longer accept anything but such a good message, and I think we all should do so. It is recommended, after you watch this video, that this gets distributed endlessly around, so something gets done. And then he begins to say that the Americans have, and the Canadian government, they're deeply preoccupied with the extraterrestrial life, and that they know they exist, and the extraterrestrial life is giving us alternatives for fuel and energies, I say. And America is resisting because the government is in cahoots with the whole fucking banking scandal, and those that rule the world. They want to perpetuate the big lie about oil, and these big oil companies lie. They're saying so smoothly, like the religious euphemisms and stuff about how they're looking for renewable energies, and I'm laughing at them because they could use hemp. They could grow that and make fuel. Renewable. They can make pulp and paper. They can do everything they want with it. They can use it for medicine. So therefore hemp cracks through their pavement and stands as an antithesis to them, and they're fighting a war against Mother Earth on this one. So therefore, they're fighting against Mother Earth. The oil companies and those that hold the money and the banking systems. They're holding us prisoners. I say that the world debt is totally forgiven. We start from scratch. We're not going to have no inflation. That's bullshit. That's what the bankers would like us to believe. No. Move aside. You guys are archaic. Time for people with real intelligence to start stepping into position. People that actually are altruistic, that actually model themselves after the teachings of Buddha, for example, or that Christ spirit where you sacrifice, or as Spock said, one for the good of many. That mentality is not demonstrated in corporate thinking, in the money markets, in banking. It's them trying to suck our life out of us. No more. Sorry, no more. I'm too enlightened. I see it for what it is, right through it so deeply, and I'm going to stand here like an icon of testimony that the world is changing, 2013 onward, okay? My faith is in everybody on this one.